All right, what's up, guys? I know that I probably overused the phrase big match, but this is a big match. We are up against Pago Youth today. They are in first place, 1 point above us, and we have a game in hand on them. And so if we can beat them here, that's going to do a lot for our hopes of actually winning the league. We are not going to make these changes. It's ridiculous to take Lingwande out of the lineup. I don't know what my assistant manager is thinking, but that is not what we're going to do. We are going to play this with the best lineup that we have, which is the lineup that we have out there today, and these guys are rested and ready to go. So except for Milo Kalliopa, so we'll see what happens with him, but the rest of this should work pretty fine, I think. And so here we go, out for another road match in the same stadium we always play in, and we're hoping that Nordin has a good game. And let's see what happens here. Once again, we just sort of click on through all of that junk that the in-game media throws at us. I know others have said that they hope that Football Manager's media will eventually be replaced by some kind of AI model. I agree because I'm getting tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over again. It would be nice to have something a little bit different, a little bit more interactive than, the same old questions with the same old 4 responses. And so here we go. The away side of the stadium is filled with our supporters. And let's see what we can do. Nordin kicks it off, ends up going back to Davajov. Davajov over to Uswardi. Lumps that one forward for Nordin, and unfortunately goes just right past him, and that's the end of that highlight. And let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get the ball back, and if we can score a couple of goals and make something happen. Lutu now over to Kalliopa. Rock up to Tafola. And he finds Tatia over to Lutu. Lutu all the way up to Milo. Milo with it and pops that one up a little bit. And Nordin's unable to run over and get ahead on that one. And so their goalkeeper is able to easily grab that out of the air. Here is a throw in now for Pago Youth. And they have a cross underway, but we are able to knock it out at least somewhat. Lingwande, unfortunately, unable to come up with that. And it's Tafola who wins the ball over Lutu to Chelsea Mustafa, however you say his last name. And Uswardi ends up winning it over to Rock. Rock with over to Tafola, now to Lingwanda. Lingwanda over to Lutu. Lutu finds Nordin over to Lingwanda. Lingwanda, and he's triple teamed over to Chelsea Matafa. And it's knocked back, but only as far as Chelsea. So, I mean, we're doing all right. We are still maintaining possession. The one who I'm worrying about here is Nordin, who doesn't look like he's awake in this match. And this is one of the problems with having young players. It's possible that they dislike big matches, and you can't tell because the game won't show you until they're 22. And so that's always the worry that we have, and this is looking pretty bad for us, and that is a goal for them. It's Pundut who's been scoring all the goals here in the league, and that was really, really poor from our defense. And this might end up being a long match. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this was really, really poorly done by our defense. And there's a little bit of an argument for offside, perhaps. But Uswardi needs to get back on time. That's what really needs to happen. And we'll see here what they say about the tight offside. And now it's not offside. It was clean. You can see he shot that from behind that line too. So there was really no question of offside. And let's see if we can get back at him. We have played well against everybody else in the league. And now this team, which has become a monster because of my own doings in the transfer market, has taken the upper hand over us. And we'll see what we can do. Lutu ends up winning this ball over to Rock. Rock has Nordin back to Lutu. Lutu with it, and he's looking for Tafola and ends up having the ball just intercepted, taken right off of him. So poor job, but Tiatia wins it back over to Lutu now. Lutu down to Tiatia again. Tiatia moves up to Lutu. Lutu with it, and what's he going to do? Passes to Lingwanda, and Lingwanda takes a shot, and he was offside anyway. Wasn't really much of a shot, and we need Nordin to wake up. That's the problem. He's not doing anything in this match, and we're down 1-0, and this might end up being another ugly season. So the question is, if we have more failure this season, what do we do? What do we do for next season? How do we right the ship? And Nordin's got to come out. I mean, he's just not even awake. And I think that this is the sign that he dislikes big matches. And so we're going to thrash our arms, point the fingers, and say, hey, we need to get on this. You need to wake up, and you are going to come off. And we're going to take him off right away. So, if these two guys don't have it in them, they're going to come off. Lingwanda, I'm going to give a little bit more time to, but Apollo is going to come on if he can't figure out how to play. So we'll see what happens. As you can tell, I'm not exactly a manager with a lot of patience. We need to win. We need to win this match. We're not going to go behind. We need to win, and we need to have players who want to win, not guys who are just going to stand around and feel upset because it's a match of a lot of consequence. So he's going to get fined. He's going to get a 2-week fine for lack of performance. That was a header there by, I think it was Julio, and that one just went right over the top of the goal. Now, having Julio on is a problem because he hasn't shown that he can score goals. I really, really would like to go back and get Maele back because I know at least that he can score goals at this level. Lingwanda with it now. And I'm not sure what he's doing with it. It's not the way the tactic's written. Davajav wins over Lutu, over to Rock. Rock lumps it forward from Julio, who lumps it forward for nobody. Right? How many times have we seen that? That's exactly the sort of play that we're trying to get away from. And that's kind of what we default to if we don't know what to do. We end up just sort of lumping the ball around the place, and we've given up a goal. And this is going to make me really, really upset. And yeah, he scored against his own old team. Everybody's going to have that one. But yeah, this was pretty bad. We will take Uswari off, which kind of makes me upset because he's a much better player than the guy who's coming on for him. And I mean, this was just really, really poor from him. And so that's going to be the end of it for Lingwanda, who's not playing and not contributing much of anything at all. And again, we're going to see a number of fines here. Let's see who else is playing poorly. And I hate to say this, every single time with this save where I think, hey, we've got it going now. Now we've got something happening and we're going to make it work. We end up with performances like this from our main players. So it's a really, really frustrating thing. Now you know why in the off season I went out and picked up as many foreigners as I possibly could because I wanted to solve this problem, and it's still around and it still comes back. It's difficult, as I've said, because for these players who are under 22, you can't see if they like big matches or not. And so you get a team full of guys who look good and look consistent, and then there's a big match and they play poorly. I want to kick Kalliopa off this team, right? I mean, some of these guys are so bad, I just want to get rid of them. I don't want to ever look at them again. But we can't do it right now because we have to have somebody play the position. But I want to just kick him off the team completely for his type of performance. Everybody who has a poor performance today gets a 2-week fine, and we may end up just not playing them again. So we'll see what happens. Tao here with the ball. Back to Silva. Silva lumps his forward, looking for Paulo, and doesn't know what he's doing with it. Julio with it now. Julio, and he takes a shot from the middle of nowhere, and of course it's off target, as it always is when he shoots. He has 1 goal this season and I think 4 appearances. So it's a little bit hard to be excited about a guy who doesn't know how to score. Chelsea ends up winning this one over to Paulo. Paulo back to Chelsea. And he lumps this forward again for Julio, and he misses the header once again. Tafola wins it over to Rock. Rock lumps this forward. This is good, over to Paulo, and he takes a shot and scores. So we finally have something going. I think he's onside, and let's encourage the team and see if we can lift our heads up a little bit. So Paulo ends up being sort of a super sub. Now, if we get a draw out of this, that wouldn't be bad. This was really good, but you notice that he has to take the shot himself because if he passes it to Julio, he'll find a way to miss. So this is the problem. We only have 2 strikers now because we got rid of the last guy who didn't know what to do and doesn't know how to score. That's what happens, and it's a real frustrating time at this level. We're going to go back and see if we can't get Maelia to come back because he's the only one who knows how to score. Silva here with the corner lumps this one forward, and it ends up over everybody's head and ends up being nothing. And now we got to watch out for another counterattack. But Paulo is able to win that one off. However, we've only got 4 minutes left. We've got to hurry up and score something, and we're not getting it happening. Yeah, and this ball is on the wrong side of the pitch, I'm afraid. And this is looking bad, and that is Chelsea ends up giving up a penalty, and it's a pretty good call. It's a ridiculous foul for him to give up right there at that position. There was no need for it. And so this is going to end up with us going down 3-1, and that'll be the end of this match. And it's a tough loss for us, first loss of the season, and we're going to have a talking to with these players. This was a really, really poor performance by a number of players who need to be better than this. We are a better team than they are. We have better players because they're new players or players I've looked at. I know what they're like. We have the better of the crop. So we need to get this back together, and we need to go out and win. But there are a number of players, including a number of American Samoan players, who are about to play their last match for us. I will say that. We're going to find better players. Look, we had 65% of the possession, and we were killed by the counterattack. Anyway, I'll talk with you tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more success, especially in winning tackles, and I'll talk with you later. Bye.